Good morning, learners. Welcome to our today's lesson. Today we are going to talk about money, and our subtopic will be compound interest. Now, of course, learners, you will agree with me. Everybody knows what is money. Of course, we are saying that money is anything that, of course, we can use for exchange. That is, you can go into a shop, of course, with either it is in a form of paper or in a form of coins. So money acts as a medium of exchange. So class 7, we talked about subtopics on this. Of course, we talked about interest, we talked about hire purchase, we talked about we have talked about the profit and loss. But compound interest, it is something that, of course, it is now unique to you, the learner. So I'd like you to pay more attention, because I think this is the first time you are hearing about the compound interest. Now, in compound interest, we are saying that it is quite different from, of course, we know how to calculate simple interest. So, of course, when you want to find simple interest, we say that we have the principal, then we multiply by the rate, then we multiply by time, then over 100. But now, the difference comes in whereby when you talk of compound interest, that is CI, we have the principal, we have the rate. Now, the time now, it is the factor here. The time is the factor. Why are we saying the time is the factor? Because in simple interest, normally when we are using time, if it's, for example, 2 years, definitely we put there 2 years. But the difference comes in compound interest. The time, of course, we calculate using 1 year. So the interest is earned yearly. Interest is earned yearly. What do I mean by saying interest is earned yearly? For example, I want to take you through examples here. So we are saying that the total interest earned for example, if it is 3 years. For example, Kamau, let's say example 1. Let's say Kamau deposited 30,000 shillings in a bank that paid compound interest at the rate of, let's talk of 10% at 10%. So find the amount at the end of 3 years. So when you talk of principal is the money that is deposited in an account. Then when you talk of the rate is calculated out of 100. Then the time is the period the money is going to stay. Either the bank offers 2 ways. Either you putting in, that is depositing, or you borrowing. You can also borrow from a bank in terms of, for example, loans. So the bank acts as, you can deposit the money in the bank, and at the same time, the bank can also now, you can also borrow the bank again. So it is a 2-way. So either deposit or either the bank is, of course, giving you money in terms of loan. Now, let's see this. Kamau deposited this amount, which is 30,000, in a bank that paid compound interest at the rate of 10%. That is per annum. So we are saying that now the compound interest, CI, is equals to the principal times the rate times the time over 100. So our principal, money deposited is 30,000. Multiplied by our rate is 10%. Our time is 1, then 100 over 100. Why are we saying times 1? We want to get the interest for the first year. Remember, this money is going to stay in that account for a period of 3 years. So, for the first year, I want us to get the interest. So, 0 and 0, 0 and 0. So, our interest is 3,000. What is going to happen to that interest? Now, this is the interest for the first year. That is the interest. We are going to take the interest, we add to the principal. The first principal, which is 30,000. So, our principal at the beginning of the second year is going to be 33,000. So, we are going to take 30 now plus 30,000. So, it means that now we have 33,000. Now, the 33,000 is our new principal starting of the second year. Remember, we have 3 years to cover. So the second year now, this is the first year. That is our first year. The second year, again, it is the principal times rate times time over 100. Remember, our principal has changed. It is no longer 30,000. It is now 33,000. So our principal is 33,000. Then we are multiplied by the rate to make the same. It is 10 times 1 again over 100. So again, 0, 0, 0, and 0. So our new interest here is 3,300. We go back again. We are adding to the principal at the beginning of the second year, which was 33,000. Now, so we have 13,000 plus 3,300. We have 36,300. So, we are now going to the third year. Now, the third year. Remember, this is our first year. The interest, 3,000. The second year, the interest is 3,300. So, the third year now, it is again principal times rate times time over 100. Now, our principal at the beginning of the third year is going to be 36,300. 36,300. Our rate remains the same, 10. Then our time is 1. Then out of 100. So remember, we have added here and we have 36,000, that is 300. So that is now our new principal at the beginning of the third year. So again, 0, 0, 0, and 0. So our principal here is 3,630. Then we add to what we had started with was 36,300. So we are looking at now the amount at the end of the 3 years. Of course, we have 36,300 add to 3,630. So we have 0, 3, we have 9, and that is also 9, and that is 3. So, at the end of the 3 years, the money that of course was deposited in that account was 30,000. But at the end of the 3 years, the money in that account is at 9,960. So the interest earned from 30,000 is 9,960. So that is our example 1. I want to take you to example 2. Let me take you to the second example. Nyaboke deposited 200,000. That is number 2. Nyaboke deposited 200,000. 200,000 in a bank. In a bank. The bank paid compound interest. The bank paid compound interest. Compound interest at a rate of 14%, that is per annum. Per annum. If the money stayed in the bank for 2 years, if the money stayed for 2 years. Now the question is, how much interest did she earn? How much interest did she earn? Now, we have the principal. The principal is the money that is deposited in the account. It is 200,000. We have the time. Sorry, we have the rate is 14%. That is per annum, per year. We have the time is 2 years. So the question is asking about the interest. The interest. So again, we come and say CI. That is the compound interest. We are saying it is the principal multiplied by rate, multiplied by time, out of 100. Our principal is 200,000. That is the money that has been deposited. Then our rate is 14 multiplied by 1 over 100. 0 and 0, 0 and 0. So we have, this is 1,400 multiplied by 2 is 2,800. So 2,800. Now, this is the interest for the first year. Take the interest for the first year, add to the principal at the beginning of that year, which is I've used 20,000. This is 20,000. It was supposed to be 200. Let's just use 20,000. Let's use 20,000. So when you add 20,000 plus 2,800, we have 22,800. Now this is at the beginning of the second year. So again, now that was first. So second, again we have our principal is now 22,800 multiplied by our rate is 14 multiplied by 1 out of 100. 0 and 0, 0 and 0. So we have 228 multiplied by 14. So learners, just in a minute, 248. We can do it roughly here. So 2, 2, 8, we multiply by 1, 4. We have 8, 2, 2, 32. That is 11, and that is 9. So 2, 9, 1, 3. So we have 3,192. So this is the new principal. So the question is asking about how much interest did she earn? So the interest, we are also looking for the interest. This is the first interest. This is the second interest. So we add now 3192 plus 28,800. So that is 2, that is 9, that is 9, that is 5. So the interest is 5,992. That is Kenyan shillings. That was what was earned from this match. So the first and the second, of course, we have looked at money being deposited. So the third example, I want us to look at now the money being borrowed. Now you're borrowing the money from the account, from the bank. Let's see what happens when you borrow money from the bank. So these are third and the final example. So Musa, let's say this is the third one. Njoroge borrowed Njoroge borrowed 50,000 shillings from a saving bank, which charge a compound interest rate of they are talking of 20%. He paid back the loan at the end of 3 years. Now, learners, we have money that has been borrowed from the bank. Of course, we are also referring as the principal, of course. Then we have the rate is 20%, and the time taken is 3 years. So you are borrowing money from a bank account, and what is going to happen? You are going to pay this money back at the end of the 3 years. So we need to calculate and see what is going to happen to the bank. How much are you going to pay back if you take or you borrow money from a bank, and of course the period is 3 years, and of course we are calculating using that rate of 20%. So learners, our step one is, of course, we need to find the interest that the bank is making now for the first year. So let's say the first year, we are saying the CI, that is the total interest. It is, of course, the principal times rate times time out of 100. So our principal, the money that of course was borrowed from this bank was 15,000. Then the rate we have been given as 20%. Then let's create a good space here. So our principal, we are saying, is 15,000. Our rate is 20. Our time is 1. Then out of 100. So we are going now to simplify 0 and 0, 0, and 0. This is 1,500 multiplied by 2, and we have 3,000. So the interest for the first year is 3,000. We are going to add to the principal at the beginning of that first year, which is 15,000. And of course, we have 18,000. The 18,000 is going to act as the principal for the starting of the second year. So again, the second year now, it is the P times R times T out of 100. So our P is 18,000. That is our principal. Our rate is 20 times 1 over 100. 0, 0, 0, 0. So we have 1800 times 2, which is 3,600. Now, let's go back to the question. He paid back the loan at the end of the 3 years. So we still have 1 year to go. We still have 1 year to go. Now, the third year, we are looking for the third year. The third year, the P, the R, the time of 100. So our principles have now changed. Of course, we are going to take 18,000 plus 3,600, and that is around 21,600. So our new principle now, at the beginning of the third year, is going to be 21,000, and that is 600. We multiply by, the rate is 20, our time is 1, and of course, over 100. 0 and 0, 0 and 0. So we have 2160. We multiply by 2. Learners, what is 2160 multiplied by 2? Learners? So we have 4320. We shall have 4320. So this is the interest for the third year. So we go now back to the question and see. He paid back the loan at the end of the 3 years. So what we are looking at now, it is now the amount. Now the amount, what was paid back. So we are going to take the principal at the beginning of that third year, which is 21,600. We add 4,320. 0 to 9. That is. So the amount that was paid now back, we are saying it is 21,920, of course, Kenyan shillings. That was the amount that was paid back at the end of the 3 years. So what we have done here today is something a little bit different from the simple interest. The only difference comes in whereby the time. In compound interest, the interest is calculated yearly. When you get the interest for the first year, you add to the principal that, of course, you started, that is with the beginning of the first year. Then it goes on until the last year. Even if you are given 5 years, of course, you need to be patient on this. So the compound interest is just similar to simple interest, but the difference comes in where when we calculate the interest will be calculated yearly. So learners, I want you to engage more in questions for you to understand well about this. So I will give you work so that now you do more practice for you to become, of course, okay. So the lesson has been, of course, good, and I want you to exercise more. Various books that we're using, of course, we have KCP Mirror, we have the Mentor, we also have the Spotlight, So we also have the understanding plus your course book, that's primary maths. Make sure you're using these books well, and of course everything will be okay. So thank you for the listening, and may God bless you. Remember, the work will be given to you later. Thank you.